It's 6 o'clock. I'm going to run the script here. So bear with me as we'll check the um, uh, people as they come in. Um, to conduct the meeting wholly electronically and to effectuate both the emergency procedures authorized by FOIA and the emergency ordinance, the Fairfax County Athletic Council needs to make certain findings and determinations for the record. It's a bit cumbersome, so I ask you in advance for your patience. First, because each member of the Fairfax County Athletic Council is participating in this meeting from a separate location, we must verify that a quorum of members is participating and that each member's voice is clear, audible, and at an appropriate volume for all of the other members. Accordingly, I am going to conduct a roll call and ask each member participating in this meeting to state your name and the location from which you are participating. I ask that each of you pay close attention to assure that you can hear each of your colleagues. Following this call, we will vote to establish that every member can hear every other member. Jason, can you conduct the roll?
Yes, sir. Braddock District, Marcia Pape Daniels.
This is Marcia. I am at my office in the Braddock District.
Thanks, Marcia. Braddock Alternate, Mark O'Meara.
Yep, this is Mark. Happily at work at University Mall Theaters.
Thanks, Mark. Drainsville, Greg Beckwith.
Greg Beckwith here. I am on my cell phone en route near Williamsburg, Virginia.
Thank you, Greg. Drainsville Alternate, Brian Lewis. Hunter Mill, James Elder. Or Alternate, Harold Leff.
Harold Leff here, coming to you from beautiful downtown Herndon.
Thanks, Harold. Lee District, Lisa Mickey. Lee Alternate, Bill Bright. Mason District, Barbara Lowry.
I'm here coming to you from home.
Mount Vernon District, Lester Munson.
Lester Munson here, coming to you from my home office.
Thank you. Mount Vernon Alternate, John Corley. Providence District, Steve McLaughlin.
I am here in my house in the Providence District.
And Providence District Alternate, Kelly Ego Oswala. Springfield District, Mike Thompson.
I'm here in Alexandria.
And Springfield Alternate, Mark Heilbrun. Sully District, Gary Flather.
Gary Flather here in my home in Centerville, Virginia.
And Sully Alternate, Mark Abbott.
I'm here and I'm in my home in Chantilly.
Thank you. Diversity at Large, Mark Fernandez. Or Alternate, Eric Sohn. Member at Large, Catherine Quinn.
Hi, it's Catherine. I'm here from Reston.
Thanks, Catherine. Member at Large Alternate, Anne-Marie Swope.
Anne-Marie's here from Reston.
Thank you. Town of Clifton, Jeff Stein.
Jeff Stein here from my home in Clifton.
Town of Herndon, Roland Taylor. Town of Vienna, Sam Altoff. Baseball Council, Rob Honey. Basketball Council, Steve Bergstrom. Basketball Alternate, Stu Clark. Fast Pitch Softball, Susie Williamson.
I'm here in Fairfax Station.
Thanks, Susie. Alternate, Ryan Buchanan. Football Council, Mark Miana. Football Council Alternate, Ted Hollingsworth.
I'm here from Oakton, Virginia.
Thank you, Ted. Lacrosse Council, Marianne Wagner. Lacrosse Alternate, Dave Paddock. Slow Pitch Softball, Carl Cohen. Alternate, Christine Iddip. Soccer Council, Lula Bauer.
Lula Bauer here from Alexandria, Virginia.
And Soccer Council Alternate, Trish Moxie.
Trish Moxie here from Springfield, Virginia.
Volleyball Council, Chuck Pruitt. Volleyball alternate, Rob Bailey. Women's sports programs, Jenny Cantwell. I think Jenny's there. Hey, Jenny, are you there? All right. We'll go to alternate Hillary Richardson.
Hello, Hillary's here from her home office in Reston, Virginia.
Thank you. Fairfax County Park Authority, Mike Thompson.
Still here.
Kurt Lewis.
I'm here in my residence in Fairfax.
And Fairfax County School Board, Melanie Marin.
Good evening. I'm here in the Hunter Mill District in Vienna.
Thanks, Melanie. Bill Curran. Vicki Garner. And NCS Lloyd Tucker. Sarah Allen. Keisha Dodson.
Evening, I'm here.
Karen Abisado.
I'm here in my home in Leesburg.
Thank you. And Mark Martino.
I'm here, home in Centerville.
All right. That's it, Steve.
Okay, thank you, Jason. At this point, I'm going to pass the gavel actually back to Jason so I can make the requisite motion. Jason will see if there's a second and any objection. I move that each member's voice may be adequately heard by each other member of the Fairfax County Athletic Council.
I second that motion.
Jason gets to ask if there's any objection.
Sorry, I had a message pop up. Is there any objection? The motion is approved.
Thank you. Second, having established that each member's voice may be heard by every other member, we must next establish the nature of the emergency that compels these emergency procedures, the fact that we're meeting electronically, what type of electronic communication is being used, and how we have arranged for public access to this meeting. Therefore, I move that the state of emergency caused by the COVID-19 pandemic makes it unsafe for the Fairfax County Athletic Council to physically assemble and unsafe for the public to physically attend any such meeting, and that as such, FOIA's usual procedures, which require the physical assembly, the Fairfax County Athletic Council, and the physical presence of the public cannot be implemented safely or practically. I further move that the Fairfax County Athletic Council may conduct this meeting electronically via Microsoft Teams, and that the public may access this meeting by calling 1-571-429-5982, phone conference ID 300-515-095, hashtag. It is so moved.
And I second it.
Are there any objections? The motion is approved.
Thank you. Finally, it is next required that all of the matters addressed on today's agenda must address the emergency itself or necessary for continuity in Fairfax County government and or are statutorily required or necessary to continue operations in the discharge of the Fairfax County Athletic Council lawful purposes, duties, and responsibilities. It is so moved.
And I second it.
Are there any objections? Motion is approved.
Thank you. Then I think we're on to the meeting. Where's my agenda? What's next? I'm sorry. I'm looking at multiple things now.
It's a citizens' opportunity to address council.
Okay, I don't believe we have any citizens. Waiting to see if anybody speaks up. I don't think so. Do we have any presentations? Is that next?
Yes, sir. I don't believe we have any.
And then next, is it my turn?
Yes, it's administrative items for the approval of the March minutes.
Okay, the minutes have been circulated. I did note a technical correction. I gave it to Jason. And on motions, when motions are presented in the minutes, we want to make sure that the disposition of the motion is reflected that the motion that was made was approved without objection. So Jason's making those two changes to the minutes. Are there any other additions or deletions to the minutes? Hearing none, the minutes are approved. And now are we on to my report?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So as the last month's minutes, you all know I did send a letter, and I believe Jason distributed that letter on the scholarship funding, requesting an increase from 150,000 to 300,000. Excuse me, I'll go on camera while I'm talking. Pardon me on that. And I testified in front of the Board of Supervisors last Wednesday on that motion. I know at least one other district rep has indicated that their supervisor was asking them questions about it. So I would encourage all the district reps to contact your supervisor and see if one of them could express an interest in that. It will increase our chances of getting funding. Any questions on the letter and the funding for the scholarships?
I thought the letter was very well done. I was very pleased with it. And I think my supervisor will support the at least 1 year funding, if not permanently.
Yeah, we just want to get our foot in the door, then we can argue, don't cut it. So hopefully that'll work. I did give the heads up to my supervisor in the Providence district. I'm hoping they'll support it as well. That's that. I think the other item under me is nominations.
It looks like
Karen
there's a couple hands up.
Avocado has a hand up.
Sorry. Looks
Yeah,
like
I was going to do this in my report out, but since you mentioned it, Steve, I just want to let you guys know that, you know, the board heard you loud and clear, the work that you guys did with your board members. And, you know, next week, I think we'll find something out if we got additional money or not, but it's sounding positive. I'm hopeful, and just want to thank everybody for their work that they did on trying to get the extra money. But it was a nice job, very well done.
Great. Mike got his hand up.
Yeah, I just want to let everybody know, I believe that Supervisor Harity has officially submitted it as a consideration item for the budget.
Great.
That it be increased.
You beat us to the punch. Thank you. The other under the chairman is the nominations committee. As the chair, I named the nomination committee. It's me and Mike. I'm term limited, as is Barbara, as is Jenny. So we're looking for an entirely new cast of characters next time around. Mike and I would be happy to receive any expressions of interest from any of the members and talk to you about what that would entail. You know, feel free to reach out to any of the previous officers to see if it's right for you. I know what Mike and I are going to try and do is put together a balanced slate of candidates with the experience and interest, both district reps and sports reps, you know, male, female, the whole 9 yards. We want to make sure that we have a good group going forward. Hope to announce that slate at next month's meeting, and nomination can be submitted from the floor at that time too, and then we would vote on it in the May meeting if we can, and then have new people in place in July. I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm going to hang out here at the stadium, but I'll be. I certainly plan to participate in the athletic council activities going forward. This is a really good group of people and a great mission that we have, and I look forward to helping the next slate of officers perform their duties. Moving on the agenda. Where am I, Jason? Sorry.
It was committee reports, but since you just did that, and I think Mark and Marcia had an update for a committee as well.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, now I found my agenda.
Mark, do you want me to go ahead, or would you like to?
No, go ahead, Marcia.
Okay. I am going to be chairing the committee on best practices. As the group will recall, this was discussed a few months ago. It's been discussed several times in the context of what information is sent out to user groups. There are currently some documents that are provided, but there was some interest in exploring other things that could be provided. There are 8 other members who've expressed interest in this committee. If others have interest, please contact Mark and Jason. You can also contact me. At this point, I think what we're looking for is to start out with a meeting in 2 weeks on May 5th at 6 p.m. virtual meeting, as everything is right now. And I think that the best thing to start with would be to talk about what kind of information people would like to see. On the other hand, maybe information that people would not like to have included as part of that. So if there are people who have comments who are not able to serve on the committee, please don't hesitate to send your comments. Again, Jason, Mark, and me, or any of the above. And I look forward to the first meeting. We'll try to keep it relatively short to maybe an hour or so, and just try to get organized and form our focus. Mark, what did I miss?
No, I think you covered our initial, and what we'll do is we'll get out Jason and I will get out a Teams invite, and we'll get it started.
Great. Thanks,
Great.
everybody.
Yeah, thank you, Marcia, for taking that on. Karen, you have your hand up?
Yes, the other 2 committees that we need to get going is the the Allocation Committee, and I think Mike Thompson is the chair of that, and also the Scholarship Committee, and I believe it's Jenny, and is it Jenny and Catherine that are co-chairs of that? So those 2 committees, we can talk offline, but we need to get those started. Same thing that Marcia said. If you have interest in especially the new folks, if you have interest in either of those 2 committees, please reach out to Jason, and we'll get you on the roster, and we'll get those going as well. Mike, did you have anything else to say, or Jenny, if you're there on your committees?
Yeah, just a reminder that on the allocation committee, we're not revisiting the entire allocation policy. We did that. We probably finished that up maybe 18 months or 2 years ago, and that was actually a process that took us almost 2 years. We're fully going to be focused on some of the unique tournament issues that we're beginning to face, especially since we're going to have our first tournament complex ready in less than 2 years.
Okay.
I don't have anything to add for the scholarship committee at this point. I'll get with Catherine and we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah, we just, especially Jenny, what we just need to look at, we didn't take a deep dive into the scholarship program, and how we're allocating the funds, how we're doing it, especially if we're going to get additional funds. Just the whole analysis, it hasn't been looked at in over 10 years. So need you guys' help on that.
Okay, someone wants to speak who can't get their hand raising thing to work, so go ahead and speak, whoever that is. I saw it in the chat.
Gary, Gary Flather, also the pilot test that we talked about a couple months ago. We need to revisit that as that is going forward. So we need to pull that committee together as well. I think Karen
yes, absolutely
initiate that meeting as well. And just a note, Stephen, on the other issue, I did speak with Sully District Supervisor Kathy Smith, and she was equally on board with the scholarship funding.
That's good news, Gary.
Yep.
Thanks, Gary. I want to thank all the committee chairs that are working this, and for the newer members, if you want to know how to get involved in the athletic council and to find a spot to contribute, it's committee work. A lot of the heavy lifting is done there, and that's a good way to familiarize yourself with the internal workings of athletic activity in Fairfax County. I'm gonna then move on to reports by sports representatives. We're flying. Jason, go ahead and call them out. Thank you.
Baseball, did Rob or anyone hop on? Basketball, I don't believe anyone's here. Susie, fast pitch softball.
I wanted to give a big shout out to NCS and the Park Authority. Over the years, the number of softball tournaments for youth run in Fairfax County is now about down to 0. And that's a lot due to, since we don't provide maintenance and things. So it's a lot easier, unfortunately, for clubs to go to Loudoun County. But a huge shout out to NCS and the Park Authority because there was about 100-team tournament a couple weeks ago, and preparation into getting the fields made usable for 60 feet at the adult slow pitch, and porta potties, and it's a huge undertaking and it's a lot of teamwork. And I just really appreciate NCS and the Park Authority on being able to do that because we're not really built, unfortunately, for softball tournaments. And it's a lot of coordination that has to happen. So I just wanted to thank all those individuals for providing this for the community. So we had some rain issues, but even with that, everybody pulled together. So thanks a lot. And also to the schools, I see you, Mr. Kern, as well. So we use the school fields as part of the tournament. And so just very appreciative of everybody coming together so we could do that. So, and it'll be happening again in July for a big fundraiser for Children's National. So just thank you.
Thank you.
Next is football. Mark or Ted?
Mark's not on. I'll just say, obviously we're in our off season, so we're getting prepared, but nothing really to report.
All right. Thanks, Ted. Lacrosse. Did Marianne, or is there anyone reporting for lacrosse? Slow pitch softball. I don't believe anyone's here. Soccer. Lula or Trish?
This is Lula, but Trish, I think you have something that you want to add. Trish?
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
I have no report at this time. We are back into the swing of the spring season, and hopefully everybody stays in line with the COVID protocols. But I don't have anything else other than that to report.
All right, Trish, did you have something?
Just ditto to that with the COVID. I'm finding we're stricter than a lot of our opponents who come to us on the weekends. So we would ask that you guys keep pushing on the COVID protocols. We appreciate it in my club very much.
All right. Slow pitch softball. Or I mean, we already skipped that one. Did anyone sign on for volleyball? I believe that's it then for sports, Steve.
Okay, excuse me. We're moving on to the matters of interest from governing bodies. Do we have the school board? Is Bill here?
I'm here, but I believe our school board member, Representative Melanie Marin, is with us. Defer to her to start.
Yes, hi. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Bill. Thank you, everyone. Yes, so I wanted to share a few things. One is, I know someone just mentioned about how great it is that the protocols to mitigate COVID are being upheld. And I just want to reiterate that on our school teams, we continue to have some challenges with that here and there. So for those of you who are affiliated with some of our school team sports, please do continue to ensure that our athletes have their masks on when they're on their sideline. They don't need them when they're playing outdoors right now, but sideline, the coach, the refs, just keep speaking up. That's what it's going to take. So thank you for that. And I think that's all for now. Just wanted to do an extra plug. So Bill, I'll turn it over to you for the nitty gritty.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a big, we're getting some phone calls and things about user groups, and I understand it's hard to manage. It's one of those, education versus enforcement type thing is the best route to take. We did, so everyone knows, we did move away from, once we came outside, we don't require the mask during competition or periods of intense physical exertion any longer on the outdoors. But we're going to continue to monitor that, and that's almost a daily monitor of both public transmission rates, as well as, things internal as we watch our own cases as they pop. And if we start to see things in conjunction with the health department, we can reverse that at any time. So it's one we can keep a close eye on. I would ask and urge that our user groups do the same. I don't think we have a lot of necessarily issues, coaches and players, but lots of things with people congregating and parents. We're just getting reports of that. So please just remind your groups. It's high profile. There are people who watch it and see it and get concerned, and it's all of us in the same boat. So, if there's something we can do to help you, happy to share everything we're doing and anything we can do to help when you're using the facilities, that you're happy to do that. So thank you for your continued awareness. I know many of you have worked really hard on this, and I appreciate that effort. As far as our high schools and our sports go, we are almost done with our fall season. So our second season, season 2, I can tell you that, if you remember back in December, I met with coaches in November, and there were those who said we'd never get through the start of the winter season. And here we are at the end of the fall, and we started the spring, and we're about a week away from competitions and things like that. So with that, pretty proud that we have lots of teams still forward in the playoffs. I got to kind of highlight Madison, who has 2 state level games this weekend. They have state championship field hockey game that they're playing in Virginia Beach on Saturday, and then South County and Madison face off for the state semifinal in football, and and we're wrapping up all the rest of them. I'll give a full report once we have everything named. We have lots of stuff going on with golf as we speak, if I remember correctly, in cross country, and it's all out there. So hang tight for those updates for next month on where we stand, and then the spring has started smoothly. I really appreciate the help, particularly with our diamond sports. Rob has been hugely instrumental, Rob Haney, with helping us influence our safety protocols with regards to baseball and the experiences, lessons they learned through the summer as they played. The same goes for Susie, and that input's been really valuable as we manage it, everything from placement of our umpires to all those sorts of things. So that's been a big part of where we are. So I appreciate that bridge that we have there and the work that's been done. Knock on wood, so far so good. Looking forward to moving through the spring. Remember, we wrap up later this year, and that does have an impact on facilities. We also have graduations, which will take place on 6 of our facilities, which is going to impact those. The one favor I would ask of this entire group is however you can send good luck our way on weather would be very beneficial, because if we get rain that week, we got a lot of problems. So that first week of June, hope for no rain, and then we can get in and get out and get those facilities back to usable, and they'll all be groomed and pretty and nice as soon as we clear the stages off of those 6 facilities. So anyhow, with that, I won't take too much time, but thank you all for your help and support. And getting here is a big deal, and it's turning warmer, and that's good news. And if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Any questions for Bill? I'm looking for some hands raised. But while that happens, Bill, I just want to congratulate you and really all of the school folks for the great job that you've done in getting athletes back and participating. It's I think really important for mental health as much as for the physical health of our young folks. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
I'm not seeing any questions for Bill. It's a good day for you, Bill.
Hey, I'm not going to push it. I pass it on to the Park Authority. Good luck.
Kurt and Mike.
Nothing really from me, other than I can just report out on Patriot North. The contract award process is still ongoing. So other than that, that's about all I have for tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the one thing I'd note for everybody is that clearly one of our priorities right now is getting a new director. And we are working through that process now. We hope to have that wrapped up early fall. But we are committed to making sure we get the right candidate and the right kind of director. You may recall last time that we went through the process and decided that of our final candidates, we wanted to restart again, and went through that, and that's how we ended up with Kirk, who did such a good job for us on so many levels. I also want to give a shout out both to the Park Authority staff that are working hard to get all the fields ready and keep them going, and to all the user groups. who have not only been understanding, but have been stepping up and helping with that process. On a personal note, kind of referencing what Bill was talking about and back to the schools just briefly, it's amazing to see how excited these kids are out playing. You know, to watch these kids. I had the luck of being at the Woodson-Madison game last night in field hockey. And I talked to the DSA and just told me, you know, every night these kids are out playing is great, because to Bill's point, a lot of us didn't know if we'd get to this point. And it's amazing. I am lucky enough that I have a daughter who started as a player many, many years ago that I was coaching, has gone through the high school system, has played college, is now coaching in Fairfax County, where literally last night she was coaching field hockey and tonight she's at a different high school coaching lacrosse. So it's amazing just watching how all this happens. And I just want to give kudos to not only Bill, but to all the DSAs and everybody else that are out there making this come together and making it work. You guys, I know, have been under a lot of pressure with the facilities and everything else, and I appreciate it. And similarly, I hope everybody else appreciates the work you do and the work the park staff is doing to try and get facilities open for all the community and rec groups.
Thanks, Mike. Hey, real quick, what college did your daughter play at?
I think it was your alma mater, someplace called Randolph-Macon.
There we go. Mark Martino. Where'd you go to college? Where'd you play?
I was a Yellow Jacket. Thank you very little.
No Yellow Jacket.
So are both of my daughters.
Okay, enough of the class reunion. Let's go to NCS.
Yeah, other than what I've already spoken about, I mean, right now we're just working on the summer gym schedule, and it's going to be a little different. We don't have as many gyms available to us this summer because of many of the academic programs in the schools that are going to be running, and band programs and stuff that'll be running in the school. So we're going to try to be creative, working with the groups to get as much space as we can. So we're working on that now, and continue to work closely with the health department and park authority and schools to make sure the kids are safe out there and following the protocols and masking up when they can, socially distancing and all that. So that's really all I have to say for tonight.
Thank you, Karen. So I'm happy that all the youth athletes are out there, but on behalf of the older basketball players, is there any hope that I'll get back in a gym in the fall?
Yeah, so absolutely, that is on our agenda with the school system to try to get that back, get the adults back in come the fall. That's the goal, Steve. So we're going to continue to meet with them and see what we can do to get them back in. I know the adults are they took a big hit. They've been out for a while, so we got to get you guys back out there exercising as well. So
I appreciate that, and I do want to thank all of the other adult athletic groups for their patience and their understanding that where the priorities really lie in the county, and their willingness to make that sacrifice. I'm going to move on unless there are any questions for NCS.
Hey, Steve, can I
Yes, sir.
real quick, one thing I forgot to mention, we don't have a volleyball council person here, but I also just want to let y'all know that we were able to come up and work with the volleyball council in a creative solution.
Yeah.
We were able to make, the park authority was able to make previously, green open space available to do some outdoor volleyball. This wouldn't be a permanent thing, but because of all the issues with gyms, this year in particular, we were able to make some space available so that we can get some volleyball games going on outside that typically would have been inside.
Great. Appreciate the flexibility, Mike. Thanks very much. Okay. In our team's environment, I'm going to move through the rest of the agenda and give people time back unless there are any other questions. We have new business or old business. Is there any of either?
This is Mike Thompson. I move we adjourn.
I'm guessing I'll second that one. And
Second.
for everybody, they're to at least 26 minutes back of their life. Thanks for participating, and keep up the good work, everybody. Thank you.